Welcome to Jam with Alice, and I'm your host, Alice. And on today's show, we have current news and entertainment news. And our special guest today is director, producer, and owner of BSide Studios, Maurice Proffit. We will be talking about his entertainment career and his new projects that's coming up for this new year. First, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know that when we upload a new video. Now, let's get into the intro. Please. All right, now let's get started. News. President Biden, in a tidal wave of executive orders and actions signed during his first week in office, President Joe Biden went around Congress to begin addressing a series of campaign promises. After first getting the U.S. back into the Paris Climate Accords to combat climate change, recommit to the World Health Organization in the middle of a pandemic, halting the federal funding for Trump's wall at the U.S.-Mexican border, lifting restrictions from people from Muslim countries, and ending the deportation threats against the Dreamers, Biden announced a third wave of actions, skirting around the congressional approval required for his $1.9 trillion pandemic relief package, which has already been met. Significantly Republican pushback. Biden's third wave of directives seeks to immediately address the needs of those ravaged by an economy still reeling from COVID-19 recession. Biden's first order will call on the Department of Agriculture to readjust its requirements for providing food assistance, making it easier for families to benefit from the Pandemic Electronic Benefits Program, the PEBT, the food stamp card, which will act in place of the school lunch provision for children. According to the White House sheet, the order is expected to yield a 15% increase food aid to children unable to receive school meals. According to White House estimates, Biden's order is also set to expand the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. That's the food stamp card, for 12 million families currently relying on the program. SNAP is expected to increase by $3 billion, expanding the total aid by 15 of 20% for the families. While Congress improves the benefits as the economic package aids last year, Trump did not allow these receiving maximum provisions to receive any more aid. Also, Biden order will help workers collect direct payments from past aid packages and give workers a federally guaranteed right to refuse employment that will jeopardize their life without having to fear suspension from their payments. This should prove to be a vital qualification, as 43% of American households have at least one family member with pre-existing conditions. President Biden's second order also mandates a $15 minimum wage for both federal and federal contract workers, which many pressure private sector employers to make their similar wage adjustments. Likewise, Biden will call on Congress to raise a national minimum wage to $15 a well, about time. Let's talk about Trump. Senators were sworn in Tuesday, January 26, 2021, for the former President Donald Trump impeachment trial, which some senators are wrestling with. What rules will govern the case as they judge whether that he incited a riot at the Capitol that forced their own evacuations and left the desks rummaged by the vandals. And for those who forgot, Wednesday, January 6, 2021, in Washington, D.C., Trump told his supporters to march to the Capitol, quote, and we fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore, end quote. Opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial for Donald Trump on the charge of incitement of insurrection will begin the week of February 8th. Let's tune in. All right. What's new in social media? The Clubhouse. The Clubhouse is the buzz. the new social app freshly valued at $100 million in 2020 after reported $12 million in funding from Austrian Horspritz. I hope I'm saying that right. There's no new website yet, and the founders Paul Davison and Rohan Seeth have stayed out of the press. Their LinkedIn profile said that they started the Alpha Exploration Company, the parent company of the Clubhouse, in 2020. Those in the exclusive beta group describe the Clubhouse experience as a mashup of listening to a podcast while scrolling through your Twitter feed and attending a conference remotely. Upon launching the app, they see a virtual rooms with the names of people in them. You can see virtual rooms with people names in them. That's basically it. Sometimes there are 2 participants. Occasionally there are 100. I have seen over 1,000. When they enter a room, or when you enter a room, the audio will switch on and they can hear people speaking, and it's like walking into a conference room where a panel or a Q&A is happening, and the room creator can decide who gets to speak, right? From my understanding, revenues come mostly from advertisers, and success relies mainly on the so-called network effects. Every user brings in 3 people, new people, who each bring in 3 people. I have heard a mix of reviews about the Clubhouse, so I got myself invited to see what's going on. Once you are on the app, which right now you must have an iPhone or iPad to sign up, the app is still in the beta form, and they are working on to get the Clubhouse on Android. But once you are on, there are virtually rooms that you can go into and listen to speakers and participants, and participate in the discussions if you choose to, on different topics, okay? Depending on your purpose, there are plenty of rooms that teaches you a lot. In some rooms, there are industry leaders that are advising on how to make your business successful. It's like having a personal coach or a panel of experts from the Shark Tank, but you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to get them there and to ask their advice. There are rooms for meditation, artists, authors, coaches, and so much more. But to be fair, some of the virtual rooms are not for me, and I do not partake in some of the conversations. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you are going to find the bad, but it's up to you if you will be a part of that or not. I like Clubhouse. I left plenty of virtual rooms with valuable information for my business and for my personal growth. I'm thinking about even starting a virtual space for myself to give useful information for some of those who may need it. About what, I don't know yet, but it's a thought. If you're on Clubhouse, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we upload new videos. And that's it. I like Clubhouse. I don't know about anybody else. It's entertaining. I can give it that, but it also gives you information, and we all looking for information. And if you're on Facebook, half the time you're not getting information from there. You're not getting information from Instagram. You can buy things, but you're not getting information. And these are a group of people who took their time out, who are millionaires, taking their time out, and they actually give you the information you need for your business. So I like it. I like it very, very much. So, all right. So let's get going to our guests. All right. So up next, Maurice Proffit, my guest. Welcome back. We have with me Maurice D. Proffit. Oh my God, y'all have no idea how much I love this man. I have known Maurice about what, 6 years now? Has it been?
Yeah, something about that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, Maurice Proffit is a film director, a producer. He is and he is a avid Batman freak. I have to put that out there for all you DC fans, okay?
DC, baby.
But you need to catch him, all right? You can catch anything that he has actually done. I don't think he have everything up, but you can actually catch him on BSide. Was it BSidestudios.com?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say. First and foremost, very happy to be here. What's up, everybody? Alice, it's always a pleasure being able to work with you in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to your platforms and your media. And So I'm very excited about this. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because we actually are relaunching the website. It's been under some construction for the past couple months, and this weekend, it should be back. Actually, on February the 1st, it will be back up. But it will be rebranded as BSideStudios.net.
Right, because it was formerly known as BSide Productions.
Right, BSideProductions.com. That's gonna be that's gonna go bye. And so February the 1st will be BSideStudios.net. So brand new layout, brand new look. Great way to be able to jump off this new year the right way with a new home. So yeah, we're really excited about that.
Well, we're going to get right into it. Let me tell you, he's going to try to pass all over. We're going to go into what he's actually done. Stage plays, Last Night as the King, the final 24 hours of MLK. All right. Now, he does these plays every year on Black History Month. This year, we're going to be talking about that. It's not going to happen, but I'm pretty sure he got something in the works. Black Girl Magic, She Means War. Your girl got a little cameo spot in that one. Okay. Adults. Now, these are his stage plays. I Want You, Adulteress, and I Want You to Want Me. And the last one, now this is just minutes. It's not going to be his last one, but check this out, Mind Game. If you missed Mind Games last year, it was totally awesome. No, I was not in it. He did not pick me.
Oh, don't even do that. Don't even do that. No, you always got a home here. But no, you was killing it. You was killing it on the media tip out in the hallway. Yeah, seriously.
People, I think my thing is being out in the media, right? And doing the interviews. Yeah. It was really fun. But this play here, Mind Games. For those who don't know, Mind Games is about a real life event that happened in 2015. With a prison debate team going up against Harvard debate team. Oh my God. And they laid it out perfectly. All right. The acting was top notch. And it was really, really a good one. So if you haven't seen it, he'll let you know where you can go find it at. Short films. He has did movies and short film, Broke AF. Season 5 for the short film. So come and check me out in season 5. Rap Mom. And he also does comedy, 606 Mania, which because of COVID, he hasn't been able to do anymore. But that was hilarious. All right. I hope you get back into that again. And then he has all these other shows that he's producing that's coming out this year. This Thursday is coming out as Buzzin' Cousins. All right. With Chrissy and T Bizzle, comedian T Bizzle. And I know that's going to be hilarious. I already know. I already know. What did I miss?
Ooh. The funny thing is that there's a lot more that's missing from that. But that's the thing though, is that you've already done a rain shower of the main content that we put out. Yes. But that's the thing though, that's the thing with B-Side is that we keep on churning out, we keep on putting out material, we keep on putting out content because there's always some story that needs to be told. And there's always going to be pockets of areas that need to be fulfilled when it comes to having an outlet, having an escape.
I'm waiting for you to do Angela Davis because you're really good with it when it comes to the history of the black community. So Angela Davis got to be that, and I'm definitely in that. I don't care if it's a little bitty role. I got to do Angela Davis. Okay.
I love you. I love Angela Davis role.
But let's get into the history of you. How about that? All right. Sure. How did you start this? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people who's want to follow in your footsteps, they want to know, well, how did he get started? How did you get started?
Sure. So, it's the pathway that I've taken to really create this brand has been quite a very unique one. And I must say, I was very blessed to have the foundation that I had when it came to my launching pad, and that was because of my mother, Valid Proffit, God rest her soul. She created this is over 20 years ago. She created a theater company on the northwest suburbs in Schaumburg, Illinois, a Black-owned theater company because her whole thing was she was always into the arts. She loved the performing arts, whether she was a spectator or she was performing, but she was always into community theater. And her whole thing was because we were living out there, and she raised us, myself and my brother out there. She said, I go to community theater all the time around here, but in order for me to see anything that has Black people in it, I had to go back out to Chicago. So there are Black people here out in the Northwest suburbs who do the same thing as well too. So she was like, let me create one on my own. Let me create a Black-owned theater company on my own out here. So this way we always don't have to always travel out to the city. We'll have it here in locally. So she created that. It was Powerhouse Productions. And that started in 1998. And ever since then, Powerhouse has been putting on Black History Productions every February in the village of Schaumburg. BSide Studios recently took over took the wheel from that some years ago. I would say back in like 2015, 2016 or so. And we've been, kind of like the leading force with that. But all my experience comes from that. All my experience comes from helping my mother out when it came to marketing her shows, when it came to taking tickets, when it came to being a stage manager, when it came to being an usher or whatever, being an MC, whatever she needed filled, she always went with me to make sure that everything got taken care of. And at the time I was in college, so I was like I wasn't away at school that far. I was like probably like an hour away, so I was come back home, I help out and everything like wherever I could, call it a day. But some years into it, when she was like, really like, kind of like building up her board, and, when the word was getting out in terms of like what she was doing, she needed more hands on deck. So I wanted to help. I wanted to be more instrumental when it came to assisting her and help build the brand. And also at the same time, I wanted to learn, for my own as well too, and my own benefit when it came to the business side of entertainment. And so, because of that, it gave me the understanding in terms of like, how to be able to do proper bookkeeping, how to be able to do like, the marketing strategies and such like that and everything, how to be able to create ties and connections and network properly and everything, the financial aspect of everything. It really showed me the ropes when it came to how to be able to manage, how to be able to manage this. And as she was getting older, and I was getting my hands more into everything, it just became more and more evident that I could, take the baton from her and run with it. And when she saw how I was able to implement, more fresher ideas, more new ideas into what we were trying to accomplish within Powerhouse, then she knew, okay, well, this is all yours now. You go ahead and take it over. And so with a combination of that, Alice, and also when I was trying to find my own footing when it came to establishing myself as a brand out here in Chicago, yeah. I got denied everywhere. I got rejected. I got told no. I got so many rejections, like from every corner, when it came to different theaters, when it came to different kind of film outlets and such. Nobody wanted me to work with them. Mm-hmm. So my thing was this. I was like, Reese, yes, you're getting all these rejections and all these denials and all these no's. But why is it that you are asking permission to other people to be great? You already know how great you are. You already know what your abilities are, and you trust in your abilities. You trust in yourself, and you already know what to do in terms of how to be able to build. Bro, start from the ground. Just start from under the ground. Just start really, really low, and really start building yourself up. And it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, because however long it takes is however long it takes. Yes. And it's an ongoing process. I'm still learning it to this day. I'm still learning. And
I think you're doing a wonderful job. And you answer one of the questions that was next is, if you're coming up and you want to get into this, you started from the ground up, period. You work your way up and you learn, right? So you just answered, get out there and do it yourself. The no, it doesn't mean no. It means keep going, right? Yeah. No doesn't hurt you. That's what I say. Right. So when did you start writing?
That's so true. Real quick, and exactly, the no's do not hurt you, and sometimes those no's really are the best affirmations you can, because you learn so much from those denials and such. So
that's right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Don't look at a no. Don't look at a no as being the end. Look at the no as like, okay, that's a comma to the next part of the sentence.
That's it.
So to answer your question though about writing, oh man, so writing goes back a long time. So I'll tell you, when I was a kid, when I was probably in grammar school, myself and my friends, we would draw and we would create our own comic books. Oh. So we had our own stories, our own storylines, our own characters we made up and everything. And so I had, me personally, I had about 6 different characters that I created. I had a whole storyline. It was like a sci-fi comic. And those six different characters, 6 different personalities and such. I love drawing, and I love to be able to tell the story that way. And so it started with that, and then it just graduated to where I would write poetry a lot. I took a poetry class, and not a poetry class, but like it was like like when you're in English and the lesson is on poetry for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. So like that was like my favorite lesson, of in school. And so I started writing poetry, and then the poetry turned into writing lyrics, writing like music lyrics. So I would actually like write lyrics, like actually like R&B songs. I write some rap songs, and I was taking a music theory class on how to be able to read notes, how to be able to identify sounds and such. So that would help me when it came to understanding tempo and understanding flow. When it came to like what I was writing. So this thing is like this way I wouldn't be so wordy on paper. I'm very wordy in real life, as you can tell, because I can talk for years, but not to be wordy on paper, and that helped a lot. And then that translated over to me wanting to actually write short stories, and I started doing that in college. And so that's what I'm saying. So then by that time, since I was already working with the theater, with Powerhouse Productions, I would see the way how these writers that she would hire and these directors that she'd be working with, how they would operate. So I'm watching them, and I'm picking their brains. I'm picking like the playwrights' brains about like what's it like writing a script, and can I see what it looks like, and how come it's spaced out this way and everything. So they would teach me the mechanics. So I would implement all these areas of learning opportunities, into kind of filter it into my own work. And from there, that's when I was like, okay, I can do this, and I have a million stories in my head that need to be told. So put the pen to paper and go to work.
Yeah, I think your stories are wonderful. Once again, it's coming up on Black History Month, and every year you and your mom did a play right. Around in Schaumburg at the Frieri Theaters Art Center. Last year was Mind Games. Again, people, you have to watch it because it was phenomenal. It was. Congratulations. It was really phenomenal. But it was also phenomenal because Mr. Proffit lost his mom at the same time. So how did you get through that and put out a production that was stellar? How could you do it? Because my mind would be somewhere else, but you were there.
Yeah, that was tough. Because I vividly remember when I learned about the whole Harvard versus prison debate that took place in 2015. Mm-hmm. I read about it online. I read after it happened and everything. I was so thrilled, and I was so like encouraged by this story. I was like, this is amazing. And immediately in my head, I said, I want to turn this into a play one day. And I remember talking to my mother, asking her if she saw like the article or whatever like that. And I was telling her about it, and I was telling her, I'm like, we should do this as a play soon. But we already had a play on deck for Black History, and so we were working with that. But I said, like, I'm like, what, we're gonna table this for another time. Right. Fast forward to after we did Adultish with what you killed it in, Alice. After we did Adultish in February 2019, excuse me, my mother asked me, what's the next show going to be? And I said it's going to be the prison versus Harvard show. And she's like, oh yes. So she was excited about that. She was really excited to see that. So she knew all year that was going to be what was going to be the next show. And then, unfortunately, her illness progressed significantly in 2019, and so in December 2019, she passed away. And so at that point, she passed away December the 6th, 2019. And at that time, I was getting ready to finish the last, I think it was the last 15 pages of the script. So I already planned that weekend to finish the script, get out to all the actors and all that good stuff and everything, so this way we can get started. But when she passed, obviously, my mind went to her. My mind was completely paused when it came to anything dealing with the production. And so we went through the whole, the whole, unfortunate process when it came to planning the funeral out and everything like that. And after that happened, after we said our goodbyes, I still wasn't in that right frame of mind at all to be able to do anything, outside of just what I was concentrating on immediately. And Alice, I'm telling you, it was one Saturday night. It was a week after, we said our final goodbyes to her. Mm-hmm. It was a Saturday evening, and something came over me. Something just came over me, and no, it wasn't the Hennessy, but something came over me. Something came over me, Alice, and I was like, open this laptop. I'm ready to go to work. And so I opened the laptop, and I'm telling you, my fingers were flying. I was flying. It felt so velvetly smooth the way how I was posting to the rest of that script. It felt like I was I'm telling you, it was just it was autopilot. And I'm telling you, I really felt like it was her kind of telling me, baby, I'm not here with you, but I'm here with you. And we're gonna see through it that the script that gets done, you get out to your actors, and you're gonna put on a badass show. And I felt that. I really felt that night. And so yeah, and then I was able to finish the script. I looked over it, did a whole complete gloss, look over it and make sure everything was smooth, and all the I's are dotted and all the T's were crossed and all that good stuff and everything. And the script read great. The next morning, I got out to the cast. So it really was like her saying, you had your time to mourn, but you have to understand, I am with you, right? I am with you. I'm not going to leave your side, and we are going to get through this together. So you are not alone. So once I had that clarity and I had that sense of that peace of mind, everything fell into place perfectly. It was because of her.
But you directed a wonderful, wonderful film. And again, tell everybody how, because I'm gonna keep saying Mind Games. And I love your work. I do. I follow you for a while now. I love your work, but Mind Games, and you have heard this before, was like up there. It was like there, right? The acting, the stage presence, it was there. The whole audience just loved it. And I know we're going to get into it at the end, but tell them right now, where can they see Mind Games?
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. So Mind Games will be available on BSideStudios.net. It will be available on there. So just make sure you bookmark that website, and it'll be on there in full.
Yeah, and you got to go there, people. You got to. It was just wonderful. All right, so let's just move on. All right, so what we got your past, the middle. Now we got into COVID. It knocked everybody off. How did it hurt you?
Oh my God, that was wild. That's wild. Yeah. So all right, so here's the thing. So yeah, so COVID affected everybody across the board. Like no one was able to be immune by this. And going into 2020, the entire year was already set for. The entire year was already booked. Like I was booked from January until December of 2020, because we were gonna have, because check it out, we're gonna do Mind Games in February.
Right.
Then we had another 606 Mania that was gonna be in the springtime as well. Remember, we were supposed to go to Vegas for the award show, for the award ceremony. Yeah, we were supposed to go to Vegas as well in that springtime. So we had that. We were gonna do the Rap Mom premiere, in the summer of 2020. So we're gonna have the whole red carpet, all the good stuff and everything. September, we were supposed to do another play celebrating Latino Heritage Month called Noches de Lupita. And I wasn't directing it. I was just, B-Side was going to produce it, but we're going to do that on the South Side. And then I had an agreement with a comedian to do a one-woman show in November of 2020. So we had everything locked up. The venues were locked up. The contracts were signed, all that good stuff and everything. And then COVID hit. So obviously, everything had to be put on pause. Yeah. So it was like, so I got to a point where after the shock, after just getting over the shock of everything happening to the globe, I got to a point where I said to myself, okay, well, what are we gonna do right now, Reese? Like we still need to create content. Something has to still happen this year. And so I was surveying the land, I was surveying everybody in terms of how people were moving. And I noticed that, like, okay, well, the Zoom thing is like what's taking off, but it's taking advantage of the digital platforms because that's where everyone is right now, because that's all where we can be. We can't be at the club, we can't be at the theater, we can't be at the restaurants. We can be on a digital platform though. So how can we incorporate, a unique style of entertainment onto the digital platform,
Right.
especially giving people that things that they may not have like seen before as well. So it gave BSide a great opportunity to be able to kind of reinvent itself and to kind of re-identify itself as well too, in the midst of everything that was happening. So because of this, we were able to kind of like we created our own version of the beat battle that we've been seeing. We've been all enjoying verses, for the last year. And so BSide created Beat Fighter. And that, that's the same concept of like, two people. And, we had the last one we had was, I think it was like East Coast rap versus West Coast rap. And so they went at it and everything. We did that live on Facebook and we got a really great response by that. We did that. In addition, we did film. We did a tournament called Film Flip, and Film Flip, what that is, right? That was a lot of fun. And so, what Film Flip is a tournament of eight teams. All right, so 8 teams of 2, so 16 people total, 8 teams of 2, and they're all in a tournament style bracket. And what they had to do, what each team had to do, they had to recreate or reinvent or reenact a scene from a drama movie, but he had to reenact it as a comedy. So you had people who may have been taking like a scene from Goodfellas, and they were reenacting that as a comedy scene into a comedic scene. And what we did, we put it on Facebook, and the people were as they were watching, they voted which team did the best, and whatever team did the best film flip, that team advanced to the next round to go against the next opponents. Yes. And the last round was a monetary vote round. So instead of like hitting the vote to vote, they would cast their votes with a monetary way, so they can cash up $1, cash up $2, whatever it was. And the team that had the most monetary votes, that money went to not only that team, but they also went to the charity that they were fighting for as well too. So wow. But yeah, so they're fighting for like Mercy Center. They're fighting for my hood, my block, my city. They're fighting for many different charities that they're playing for.
What a wonderful idea!
Yeah, and what this gave the actors something to do. So this way they can be able to implement their own creative skills into an area, because they weren't acting anywhere because no one was nothing was really open. But also at the same time, it gave them an opportunity to make a few bucks as well too, to make a few dollars. So so it really did kind of create that incentive for them to not only have a creative pocket, but also to be able to benefit financially as well too, during this crazy time, and also to be able to give back to a charity of their choice. So we really did hit on all three areas with that. Shout out to Luis Rivera from Indie Center podcast for teaming up with BSide to make that happen. So we did those things. In addition, we also did our very first reality show, our very first social media reality show with Wine, Dine, and Go Live. Right. And this was a blind date. This is a blind date of 2 people. Then they don't know who the other is gonna or anything. We supplied both of them with a bottle of wine and also a dinner, wherever they were at. And the moment we went live, they saw each other for the first time. We're on Facebook. Facebook people are like, they're chiming in with their jokes, and they clowning, or they giving some advice, whatever like that, and everything. And the date happens, and so it was a really great response. So that's what I'm saying. All of those, these are 3 pockets and 3 areas where we really did take advantage of the digital direction that things were going, and at the same time, it gave us a lot of leeway to really be able to explore a lot of uncharted land, and that's how. And we're taking that into 2021, and that's why this week we're doing the launch of the podcast Buzz and Cousins.
Buzz and Cousins, that's right. You were just as busy pre-COVID as now, so
it never stops.
It does stop. And listening to you and your actors and the people that you bring aboard, I want everybody to know your a little snippet of what you have on Facebook. Non-traditional film director that is it addictive? And creativity. I think they say it's addictive. I can't
Oh,
see.
on the
Your little bio. So, and the part that I want to touch on is non-traditional. You are a non-traditional. You took somebody like me who has never acted a day in her life. Well, a little acting I did, but you take everyone, right? Yeah. And you like, I'm giving everyone a chance, and you try to find a spot for everyone, and you direct them there. Where did that come from? Because that's amazing. That because most people wouldn't even look at me or another person who don't have the experience, right? And you take them all.
And see, that's what's crazy to me, Alex. Like when you tell, like even to this day, like when you tell me that, it still blows my mind because I just remember like the first time I came to your show for Chicago Girlfriends to promote what was it? I Want You to Want Me.
Want Me, right?
Yeah, when I was on your show, I was just like blown away by like your personality, the way how like the way how you like really like take charge. Your energy, how like how kinetic your energy is and everything like that. It's like, man, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I'm in the room with Alice Boswell. This is like freaking blowing my mind.
Wow.
And I'm like, and so my whole thing was like, yo, if I can get her to be on one of my shows, this will be like the cream of the crop. And so like I was like high key, I was nervous to talk to you about that. And then when you said yes, I was like, oh, thank God, And that's the thing is that you can and I say this for a reason. I said all that for a reason because what I saw in you was such a connection that you have not only with me but also like with your audience and with people in general that it's very magnetic. And it's like if I see that in you, if that really is apparent, that's very visible, and I can see that in you, then why not create have the platform, share the platform with you, so this way we can both really be able to shine out there and such. And so that was my whole thing, was like I really want to make sure that people who have that want, that drive, that desire to really be able to elevate themselves and really be able to really accentuate their own characteristics and their own creative outlets. I never want to stifle anyone from that opportunity, because I was stifled so many times. I mean, Alice, I'm telling you, I'll be telling theater companies around here, like, look, I am ready to be loyal to y'all. I'm ready to go to war for your brand, for you guys, and really be able to work together to build something special together and such. And they're all saying no. They're all saying no because I have a name, or I didn't know I wasn't cool with somebody, or I wasn't somebody's nephew or whatever that. I didn't go to Columbia College, or I didn't go to NYU, or I just wasn't connected. I was a nobody in their eyes. Yeah. And so it's like, and nobody should go through that. No one should go through that, especially when they want to give you some substance. And so like with people, so like like with you and like there are many other artists, many other actors that I've worked with who didn't have the opportunity, but they wanted to be able to taste what it's like because they really believed in themselves. That's and they really want to go out there and really put it all on the line. That's who I want to always work with, and that's why.
Yeah. Well, you know what? With and I'm gonna say I have to agree with you. John Robinson was in Adulterous with me. All right. So very small part. Next year, he's in Mind Games. Blew it apart, and you wouldn't have expected it. Now you probably would have said James Gordon, yeah, maybe T. Bizzle, yeah. But John Robinson, you saw that. Nobody else saw that. You saw that, and he killed it, right? Yeah, I can see on your face. You're like, yeah, Papa.
But you're right. John is the quintessential example of this whole thing. Like I've known John for years, and we go way back and such. But he never had the opportunity to be able to really showcase his talents, and he really likes the arts, but he just doesn't know. He didn't know where to start, and that's fair, because a lot of people just don't know where to start at all when it comes to this. They want to be involved, but they feel like it's not in their range. It's like people who look at that side of the fence of like artists. They feel like that's an untouchable area. Like that's something. Okay, I can only admire it from afar. I can't be involved with that. That's only for them because they went to these high priced schools for it and everything. That will never be me. But with BSide though, No, that's not even. We don't even condone that kind of thinking over here. If you actually want it and you have it in you, and you really are hungry, we are going to make sure you get fed. And that's what it's all about, making sure that equity is on the table across the way. You remember Beverly Beverly I can't remember her last name, but you remember Bev, the older woman who was a retired cop.
Yes.
She always wanted to be involved with acting, but she was always working for Chicago PD because she was a cop. So she never really had the opportunity to be able to do that. But when she retired and she's been in retirement, she has the time. It's like now she has the time and the chance to do it, but who's going to give her that chance? So that's my thing. It was like, okay, no one's going to give you that chance, but we're going to give you that chance because you have every right to be able to fulfill that dream of yours. And it happened.
Are you still doing casting? I know you was at one time you were going to have the casting production, but they could be on the website as well.
That's on the website. Yep. Yeah. That's a little bit slower process. But there's going to be a tab on the website for BSide casting because we still are moving in the direction to creating our own casting company as well too, in addition to everything else what we're doing.
Yeah, amazing. I'm telling you, you gave me a chance, and I think my best part, even though I wasn't Rapmon, y'all make sure y'all come and check it out. Hopefully this year we get a chance to see it. I still don't think I did as well as a Duchess, because even myself, I'm like, you did that, and it come from great direction from you, and it's like a bunch of, I don't understand if people understand what you're talking about. It's love when you go on that stage. It's love when you come to rehearsal. Everybody wants to help. It's a whole big family there, so you're not on your own. And that's what I love about BSide production. All right, so what do we got going on now? Buzz and Cousins is coming up, right? But you got other projects coming up as well. But tell us about Buzz and Cousins, and then let's talk about the other projects.
Most definitely. Yeah, 2021 is stacked. So this Thursday live on Facebook at 7 p.m. Central Time, it will be the Buzz and Cousins podcast. So this podcast is going to be a lot of fun. It's with Teresa Johnson, aka T Bizzle. Everybody knows her as T Bizzle, and Chrissy Johnston, with BSide, and what this is gonna be a lot of fun because these two are they have such a really great chemistry together. T Bizzle with with the high level of comedy that she has, and also in Chrissy with the insight, in terms of just with various areas. And what I mean by that is that they're gonna talk about a lot like women's issues.
Oh, I think we lost you. You still there? Oh, I think we lost him. He's coming back, so don't worry. We're gonna wait.
How to be able to really use radio and be able to use that acumen and implement.
Hey, Maurice, I hate to cut you off. We got to go, but for some reason you just cut completely off my screen.
That's why my screen went big. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, right as you was talking about this Thursday's happening, everything just cut off. I'm like, what happened? What's going on?
Oh, true.
All right, so I cut from that part, but let's just go back talking about you gave the date
Got it.
Thursday.
So it's gonna be this Thursday at 7 p.m. on the 28th of January live on Facebook. And what's great about this is that it's as you already know, it's T Bizzle, who is a seasoned comedian, within the city of Chicago, and also she has an extensive amount of experience working with radio, podcasting, and television as well too. So she's going to be able to marry those two worlds together of how she knows how to be able to maneuver in radio, and also her comedic sense as well too. Be able to marry those two factors together and put it into this into the show, along with Chrissy Johnston's insight with a lot of areas and topics that they're going to be discussing. This is going to be a very well-rounded show. Overall, it's going to cover many areas, many topics that deal with a lot of women's issues. So they'll talk about mental health. They'll talk about they'll talk about investments. They'll talk about fashion. They'll talk about the news. They'll talk about relationships and stuff. And so this is really going to be very palatable for women, but so in an informational way and also in the entertainment way as well too. So they'll be laughing their butts off while they'll be getting some very sustainable knowledge as well too. So it's gonna be a lot of fun this Thursday 7 p.m. on Facebook.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be the buzz.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I know you're gonna appreciate it immensely as well too, since you know the ladies quite well. But this year 2021 is already set when it comes to BSide programming. So we have that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Next month we actually are going to be doing a Black History production next month.
Okay.
It obviously won't be at the Prairie Center, but it will be live on Facebook. It's called the Black Tape. And it's going to be February 27th at 7 p.m. on Facebook. And what it is, it's going to be the top 6 moments of our Black History productions. So you'll be able to see, so you'll be able to see some of like the best moments that we've had, the best scenes that we've had as well. And then I will also be interviewing the people who are involved with those scenes, before we show the scene and everything. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, free of charge, obviously, but it's gonna be just as much fun as it would be if we were in the theater.
As I'm doing this show on YouTube, you have to send me a tape of that when you get through. So I can.
Almost definitely.
After you do it, that's going to be wonderful. What else you got?
So March of 2021, we are going to be launching a cooking show. Our very first time that BSide's doing a cooking show. It's called Delish Dior with Chrissy Dior. And what this show is going to be about is going to be centered around only crock pot slow cooker dishes. So all this will be on the slow cooker. Yeah. So the first half of the show will be showing her like, okay, this is what you put in. You put the meat, you put the carrots, you put the tomatoes, all that good stuff. So she'll show like, what goes in the crock pot. All right. How high to set it and how long it has cooked for, all that good stuff and everything. And then the second half of the show will be her serving it to her guests of the show. So she'll have special guests for every episode. She'll serve them the dish. So like, commentate about the dish, how good it is, licking the bowl, all that good stuff and everything. And then they'll just have like dialogue for a few minutes, just kind of talk about like whatever. It'll be a lot of fun. So it's a really good way to be able to get some ideas and like, what you can make in the slow cooker, and also to see like, some really entertaining dialogue, because she'll always have a different guest for every episode. So that should be good.
So would this be live as well?
No, that won't be live. That'll be filmed, and then that will be able to be seen like on all of our platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, and all that good stuff and everything. So so be on the lookout for that. April, we will be resuming. We'll be resuming the reality show Wine, Dine, Go Live. So we'll be resuming that. So this way it'll be a regular. So we'll have two new people on there. Mm-hmm. May of 2021. We're launching another podcast. It's called Tea with Jess. And that's going to be with Jessica De Leola. She was for anyone who watched the pilot of Wine Dine Go Live back in November. She was she was on there, and the response that we received about Jessica was so heavy about how hilarious she was, how witty she was. I mean, I'm sorry, like Ruben Ramirez, I love you, brother, but she put you through the wood chipper in that episode. and everyone saw it. Jess is a newcomer. She's a newcomer to the industry, and so it's gonna be. So she's gonna have a lot of fun talking about talking about men, talking about the whole dating scene, talking about like what's happening pop culture wise and everything. Giving her take. And if you guys know how she is, it's gonna be hilarious. She's another T Bizzle when it comes to her comedic acumen. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I know it keeps going. And then in June of this year, we're starting another podcast that's going to be with John Robinson and Leo Arias, and that show is called Off Topic. And so they'll be talking about like sports, hip hop, like like a real guys podcast, and these two are characters. They're characters in their own right. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And not to mention we're still gonna be doing a 606 Mania when things open up again. Yes. We're still gonna be doing another beat battle as well. So we're doing another beat fighter. We're still gonna do Film Flip in the fall. So be on the lookout for that. And hopefully, we will be putting out Rap Mom this summer as well too. And also, hopefully we can get back in the theaters. We'll have Noches de Lupita in September. So needless to say, it's a lot happening this year.
Yeah, so you're going to be busy.
Any of this stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're definitely going to be busy. And before I let you go, I want to always ask people, with all that you have accomplished, what is it that you still want to do?
Oh man, wow.
What is the one thing you still want to do? Who is it that you really want to work with? Just give us one. What is it that you still want to do? Because you have accomplished a lot at a young age. All right. So what is it you still want to do?
You know what? To be honest, man, that's a really great question because I don't really think that far ahead, but but in this case, so I think it's really healthy too. One thing I really want to do somehow, some way, shape, or form, I want to create an animated series, and that's one of the bigger goals I have.
That would be different from BSide.
Yeah, because we have that's things that we have an animator that we're working with. Shout out to Brittany Galloway, and she made because there's gonna be like a small little animation portion in Rat Mom that's gonna be coming out. So there'll be a small animation portion that's going to be in the film. That's what she was working on. But I want to get to a point where we can do an entire project that's all completely animated. So yeah, I would say the animated film, short film, whatever it is, whatever it will be. I would say that will be a reality in the next couple of years. So that's definitely a goal of mine. I want to do.
That's wonderful. I think that will be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Fun for the kids,
Yeah, that'll be definitely interesting. I would love to see that one. So, let me see, what else do I have for you? Oh, I saw on your page, and it was hilarious to me. I didn't know anything about this, so this is off topic. The BBC 3, I have never heard of it until I did some research on your page, and they did a skit with Idris Elba. The guy was pretending to be Idris Elba. That was hilarious. I got to go back and get it just to put it on my Instagram page. Idris Elba can do everything.
You know what's funny about it? It was like the mannerisms were so like on point. Like when you watch, especially if did you ever watch the show Luther?
Yes.
Like it really was like spot on how Luther is. I remember like watching Luther, and I was like always kind of find it funny how the little idiosyncrasies that Idris would do, like when he would like pick things up, or he would like make kind of like backhanded comments or whatever like that. The way how he moved or whatever, I always thought that was kind of funny. So watching that video, it was hilarious because the actor got everything perfect. I was like, "Yo, bro, what?
It was, and which goes into when you're looking to cast your projects. What do you look for?
Oh, yeah. The first and foremost, what I look for is just that drive, that energy, and that fortitude that you want to be a part of this. That's the number one. That's the number one top variable that I'm looking for. How and not so much about how bad you want to be a part of this. Not in that vein, but more so in the vein of like just like how motivated you are to be able to help create something. Like how like forward focused you are to understand that like that you can be a part of something very special that you will be able to help create. Just that type of energy, that type of attitude is what I look for. And everything else comes secondary. I don't care. You could be as great as Denzel, or you can be as as novice as someone who just got into the game. It doesn't matter. But what matters is just really what that fortitude, what that drive inside you really does look like. And so when I see that and when I connect with that within you, then you're pretty much in, because I can work with you in terms of like how to be able to help mold and develop you, and how to be able to fine tune your acting skills. I can work with that. That's workable. That's that's a few weeks of rehearsal and conversation. But it really all starts with just what's really inside you in terms of like just that want and that drive and that spirit that you have inside yourself to actually be a part of something special. It's something that is bigger than you as well too. Yes. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than everyone else. It's all about a collective effort. So when I see that you have that kind of understanding, let's do it. Let's work.
Let's work. So let's lead into getting ready to end. But what is still a business, what is the best advice you can give these actors when they come to not only your production or anybody production to be cast or to audition?
Belief in yourself. Belief in yourself. That really is. You know, it's sad, like when you see people just second guess themselves in general. You know, because I feel I'm a firm believer that, and I know it's a huge cliche, but I'm a firm believer that anything is possible. Anything is attainable. Anything and everything is attainable. It's just really about like where your own self-confidence really does lie. You know, if you're just like I'm sorry, but if you're walking around with your back hunched over, your shoulders up and everything like that, and you're just like, no, it was me. I can't do nothing. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to happen for you. But when you really do believe in, like, the abilities and who you are and what you possess and what type of talent that you have inside you and such, that's all going to fall into place. And it's all going to be recognized. It's all going to be enhanced as well and accentuated. So really believing in yourself, going into that casting call, and really be able to meet with those auditioners and be the people ahead in the audition, and really showing them, hey, you know what? You may say no to me today, but you will never forget about me. That's the type of mentality that you must have. Just knowing that you believe in yourself. If no one else does, you believe in yourself, it will translate to the next person.
Oh my God, that is so true, Maurice. That is absolutely true, and I can see it for myself, because I doubt myself sometimes, and then like doing interviews. I tell everybody, it doesn't matter where you are in life. If it's something you want to do, get up and do it. And I love doing this. When I have a conversation with somebody, I stutter, I miss words, I mispronounce words. But when I'm doing this, it's like I'm perfect almost, because
your natural element.
Huh?
It's your natural element, right? It feels organic to you. It feels natural to you, right?
Natural to me. So it's the belief that I know I can do it. So you're right. That's the strongest thing you can say. The belief. If you can't believe in yourself, nobody will.
Exactly. And I know it's said 1,000 times and everything, but that's the thing, that those cliches and those sayings that are said 1,000 times, they're said 1,000 times for a reason.
Yes.
They're said that many times for a reason, because that simple formula works. That simple formula is a locked-in guarantee for yourself. All right? It really, truly is. And especially the belief in yourself, that just goes so far. Like I had I remember I had this little poem, and it was on this little card. And I had the poem for me for years, and it was called Trust Yourself. And I would read that poem all the time. I read that poem all the time, especially in college, when I was like, I felt like I was striking out with everything, like when it came to exams, when it came to, just like what was going on and everything like that. But it got me through it though. It made me remind myself, never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. And when I really internalized just that phrase alone, that was like the fuel I needed to say, Reese, get off your butt, quit feeling sorry for yourself, and make it happen. You know what you need to do. You just have to make it happen. Because why? Because you know who you are. And that's all that matters.
That's it. Maurice, as always, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Always.
I can't believe it's already been an hour. That's nuts to me. Like, how is it already 8 o'clock? It's so crazy to me.
30 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is supposed to take this interview was supposed to take place 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. I told him I'm not going to take up much of this time. But whenever we get together, I love listening to this man talk. And it's just amazing. He got some knowledge, and
there is no bounds when it comes to when we vibe. So like, yeah. So when you said 15, 20 minutes, I was like, okay, we're talking about us here. You know what I mean? But listen,
go ahead.
I was gonna thank you so much, for doing this. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your growth, Alice. I'm so proud of like the way how your brand just continues to expand. It gets so much bigger every day. And I love seeing that. Like it's like you. I honestly, like I'm telling you, like like you really are. Like you really do inspire me. You really truly do inspire me to continue to
that's important.
I'm not inspired. ever since I saw what what you're doing with CGF and like the way how you build Just Me, and now All of Us magazine as well too, and now with the Jam, this is amazing, and I'm so happy. I'm so blessed to be able to be a part of this. So thank you so much, for allowing me to be able to share your platform with you tonight. I appreciate you.
Well, Maurice, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And I even listen, and I learn more things about you every time. So, and then all these projects, you got to be one of the businessmen in the entertainment field. You must be. Because I can't, moving, all right?
That's my happy spot. Like how in front of the mic is your happy spot?
Yeah.
Being crazy like a chicken with my head cut off, going all over the place. That's my happy spot.
Yes. Hey, now tell everybody where they can find you. What's your Facebook? What's your Instagram? If they want to work with you, how can they do this?
Most definitely. So look me up on Facebook. Just search for Maurice D Proffit. It'll be the good looking guy in the picture. So that's very easy to find.
That's right.
But look me up on there. Look for Proffit the director. You can like that page. Search for BSide Studios as well too. Like that page. You can find me on IG at MRPROFFIT. So it's at Mr. Proffit. You can find me on there. You can find BSide at bside.studios on IG as well too. Like I said, February 1st, the website will be up. BSidestudios.net will be up on February the 1st. So so make sure you check it out. Just hit me up. Hit me in the inbox. Hit me in the inbox, on either platform. I respond to everybody. I'm not one of those too cool for school directors or producers who just leave you hanging for the next 17 months and then hit you back with a one-word answer. No, I will engage with you. I will talk with you. I will answer your questions. If you are interested in being a part of a production in the near future, hit me up with your headshot resume, and we're gonna make it happen. And we're gonna see that you get paid as well too.
That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Maurice D. Proffit, film director and producer. This man is amazing. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you gave me a whole hour. I'm sorry.
and we can easily do another one too as well. You know how we get
easily. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, you know what I say at the end of every interview: you find your fire, be true to who you are, and whatever you do, inspire along the way. I'll see you next time on Jam. We got more guests coming up. I am excited about my own self. Thank you. Thank you, Maurice. All right, so you're welcome. All right.